Hello, everyone. This is Justin Smythe from nextbigtrade.com. This is your focus watch list for May 17th, 2024. As discussed in the newsletter, two sectors to focus on next week include cryptocurrency stocks and uranium stocks. The uranium stocks turned around on volume this past Friday, and the cryptocurrency stocks bounced nicely this week with a move higher in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as well. So those sectors, are showing early signs of a potential sector move higher, and they're coming out of multi-month consolidations, which is what typically, breakouts from consolidations are where you want to start buying new sector moves. So starting off with CLSK, this is another outperforming cryptocurrency stock, similar to MSTR. This one has stayed way above its 30-week moving average during this recent pullback. You've got well-defined resistance here. You can see how ever since February and March, it kind of had trouble falling through to the upside, and then it kind of pulls back, gets closer to the 30-week moving average, and then we're tightening the range here as well. So looking for a resolution higher here. Notice how the volume was above average to the upside this week. This stock actually tried to break out this week, but then kind of came back in towards the end of the week. So we'll see if this one can set up and break out again heading into next week. Obviously, we've got MSTR and HOOD already breaking out, so this one looks like a logical stock that could follow through starting next week. Coin is the other major leader in this sector. You've got a big pullback to the 30-week moving average on declining volume, and then you've got a little bit of expansion in volume this past week. And this one's, much closer to its 30-week moving average now than it was when it was really extended back in late March. So much more buyable now. And moving on to the daily chart, you can see this declining volume here on the pullback, and starting to show a little bit of support here. We'll see if it can kind of break out above resistance next week as well. I think these are two ones to watch really next week. If they do break out, the sector move is looking good for the cryptocurrency space. Uranium stocks, UEC, this one's been flirting with a breakout for weeks and weeks now, but pushed up to resistance again at the end of last week, and once again, not extended at all from the moving averages, which is right to where you want to do new buying. On the daily chart, you can see the explosion in volume on Friday. We're right up against resistance, looking for a follow-through breakout here. And they've been consolidating since early January, so this is a multi-month consolidation basically for the entire year, looking for a follow-through breakout now. URG is doing the same thing, consolidating the move from early in January. Big pullback. We're right at resistance again and showing an increase in volume for multiple weeks here. And same thing on the daily chart. Notice the volume that came in on Friday, looking for a breakout to the upside here. A couple more stocks. Fintech stock AFRM. This one was a big leader at the end of the year last year. Massive move higher. The stock basically tripled over a short period of time, right into the end of the year, and then it's just had a massive pullback back to the 30-week moving average. But now you've got a consolidation sideways against the 30-week moving average, and the volume did pick up a little bit last week. So looking for a breakout here. A lot of these fintech stocks have been acting well, so this one's potentially set up to follow through with the rest of the sector. And you've got a nice increase in volume here, right up against resistance. Look for a new follow through here higher next week. I love how the volume really contracted on this pullback as well. Notice the huge buying pressure during the uptrend, and then big contraction during this consolidation. And we're seeing some expansion on Friday. So again, this one's set up to break out potentially early next week. Finally, a new semiconductor IPO, ALAB. This one had a big move on its IPO week and then kind of exhausted itself back in March. Then it corrected during the semiconductor correction, but it did hold support pretty well during that correction. It's really, had some more high volume selling over the last couple weeks and is kind of just rejecting highs, but still kind of staying within the same range. So we're basically just looking for a follow through breakout here on big volume. And NVIDIA could be something that could cause a breakout in a stock like this. So if this one does react well to NVIDIA, breaks out to new highs, I think this one is very buyable. It's got no overhead resistance if it does break out. On the daily chart, you can see, again, on the IPO, it blasts off higher, exhausts itself, comes back down, then basically creates a trading range. It tried to break out back in April, but this move was rejected, came back down, consolidating again. Volume starting to dry up a little bit here. So again, if we're just basically looking for a breakout to confirm a new move higher, and NVIDIA earnings could be a catalyst for a stock like this. So overall, here's some trading ideas for next week. Again, I think the sector themes are very clear cut heading into next week. You've got obviously existing leaders like precious metals and Chinese stocks doing well, but then you've got these new sectors. Cryptocurrency and uranium could produce some huge trades over the next couple weeks if they follow through and break out.